Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing so-called sponsored work permits. Now, I did a video, I think last week, would have gone up last week from the time of this video, where I asked viewers, basically, look, we've kind of put the whole pandemic behind us, the lockdowns, the closure of Thailand in terms of immigration. That's basically in the rear view. Now, I've said we perhaps are not at the end of the tunnel, but we're certainly basking in the light at the end of the tunnel. And I'm hoping everything continues in a positive trajectory moving forward. But the purpose of this video, a lot of folks sent through comments and emails questions that they had for me to do videos on. One thing, I'm not even going to read a specific comment here because I got multiple ones and I got multiple emails about so-called sponsored work permits. And people said, well, I know somebody that they went and got a quote-unquote sponsored work permit and they're doing fine, so what are you talking about? Basically is the gist of a number of the correspondence I received. So first of all, let's explain for folks that are unaware of this. There's this notion of a so-called sponsored work permit. Also, I've noticed that folks out there use the euphemism, employer of record and all of this good stuff. Look, long story short, if you're not working for a company, if you're not really working for a given company, the work permit's illegal. It's fraudulent. You're engaging in something, you're saying you work somewhere that you don't really work. You're saying you work for a company you don't really work for. And we've done a number of videos on this, and that's how so-called sponsored work permits work. It's, oh, I just get a job, quote unquote, with a company and basically pay them to get me a work permit through their company. Yeah, that's all well and good until that company gets inspected by the Department of Employment, which are inspecting far more now than they ever have before, that I ever remember, and certainly far more than the past 3 or 4 years where we've been dealing with all this stuff going on in the background where that wasn't really a major priority for them. Yeah, DOE, Department of Employment, I've seen multiple inspections in the last couple of weeks. Okay, they're not messing around when it comes to the Labor Department here in Thailand. Meanwhile, immigration could also be a problem. If you get inspected on a place you're not actually working, again, it could end up being a deportation issue. So the thing to understand is, look, anytime you're saying you're doing something to the government and you're not doing that thing, you've got a real problem. And sponsored work permits are a perfect example of this. And I know people running around just kind of waving it off, saying, oh, it's no big deal. I've seen people get in trouble over sponsored work permits. I've personally seen it on multiple different occasions. 2 of them got deported that I actually saw. So again, this is not something to just kind of wave away. It's something to be very, very serious about. If you're going to work in Thailand, you need to be in line with the law, and your activities need to be in line with the law, and you need to be doing what you're telling the government you're doing.